She was one of AKB48's Three Musketeers, known for her pursuit of perfection and having a very serious personality, but her story is a rollercoaster ride you seriously won't believe. Brace yourselves for this one, seriously. Sorry. In this episode of Otaku Files, we talk about Okada Nana. Most of us outside of Japan may not be aware of some of the more interesting personalities within the Japanese otaku landscape, so I thought I'd do a little video series and try to shed some light on these individuals. This is Otaku Files. Yep, that's right, it's AKB48's time, and this time we're covering an idol that was known for being too serious. Honestly, this group is nothing but surprises. I've covered many different idols on this channel, but I think this will be a complete first.
今日のファッションポイントは何ですか？ラッキーからもらったピンです。あ、かわいいですね。
Active in AKB48 from 2012 to 2023, and also AKB's sister group STU48 from 2017 to 2022, the serious idol we're going to talk about is Okada Nana. So just how serious was Okada Nana, or Na-chan as she's affectionately known as? Well, so much so that they covered it on AKB's TV show AK Bingo, testing her seriousness through 3 episodes. That actually seems like quite a big push for management. Examples of Na-chan being serious, or in Japanese majime, include trying not to be in the way of a shot where members were talking behind her, always giving direct eye contact and looking like she cared about what the other person was talking about regardless of the subject, and doing whatever she was asked of even if it was something, well, questionable. I don't mean that in a weird way. Being majime or serious in Japan seems to have a bit of a mixed reputation. Although there is the positive nuance of doing things properly, like always being on time, never breaking the rules, always completing tasks they were asked to do, etc., those that are majime can also be viewed as being stubborn or just hard to be around. There does seem to be a lot of different types of majime, but honestly, in Na-chan's case, a lot of her behavior just seemed to be that of someone really considerate, which just stood out compared to the other members. Not saying the other members weren't considerate, by the way. Now, this seriousness, or should I say pursuit of being the perfect idol, seems to stem from Na-chan's image of what it means to be an idol. Having been an AKB48 fan herself, something which we'll get into in just a bit, when she thinks of the idol, she thinks of cute, elegant, and great singers/dancers like Maeda Atsuko and Watanabe Mayu, and believe that fans wanted to see that radiant side of idols, not their true selves. However, Na-chan's story has a lot more to it than her just being far too serious, so let's go back a bit. Na-chan was born in the city of Neyagawa, which is in the prefecture of Osaka, but would be raised in Kanagawa from when she was around 3 years old. It seems she hasn't revealed much about her earlier years, but her nickname when she was in elementary school was apparently Obake, which can mean ghost, monster, or something else along those lines. I don't think she was bullied, but that's not exactly a fun nickname to have. For her future aspirations, Na-chan apparently wrote that she wanted to be a doctor or a singer, so we can see that she had an interest in the entertainment world from when she was young. But within an interview, Na-chan reveals that it was actually her parents that encouraged her to pursue a career in that direction. And as a result, Na-chan along with her sister ended up going to the Horopuro Academy for 1 year, something she actually hadn't revealed before because she didn't want people to have high expectations of her. The Horopuro Academy is the talent development and training division of Horopuro Inc., one of Japan's most famous talent agencies. There they took singing lessons, acting lessons, and tap dancing lessons. Na-chan would even end up taking acting auditions, some of which she must have passed since she says she did appear in a drama as an extra. But Na-chan didn't really like being in front of people, at least not at that time, and ended up stepping away from the entertainment world while her sister continued on as an actress. That was until she got into, yep, AKB48. Na-chan actually has 3 siblings, and all of them were into AKB48, which is how she ended up getting into them too. She became a huge fan of Watanabe Mayu and Itano Tomomi. I actually have videos on both of them too, for those interested. One day, her brother would inform her that AKB were holding auditions for the 13th generation, and Na-chan, who was in her 2nd year of middle school at that time, decided to go for it. However, she was pretty nervous at that time, and during the interview part, ended up saying something along the lines of, well, I'll just give it my best. and ended up not passing. It wasn't over yet though, at least not for her brother, who would encourage Na-chan to go for the 14th generation audition. Once again, she made it to the interview round, but this time learning from her past mistake would tell them what she was good at: singing. And luckily, it worked, enabling her to move on. Na-chan would manage to join AKB48 as a trainee, making her appearance for the first time in July of 2012. She would then be placed in the subunit Tento Machu, along with 6 other trainees the following year. Fun fact about Tento Machu, that they appeared in a short drama series called Joshiko Keisatsu, apparently called in English High School Girls Police. Na-chan was one busy idol though, because around a month after Tento Machu's formation, it would be announced that she would join Team 4, being promoted from her trainee status. Apparently, this was the time Minegishi Minami was Team 4's captain, so it's typically called Minegishi Team 4. So Na-chan was a part of the main group as well as being in a subgroup. Now, something I must also mention is that Na-chan was one of the 3 musketeers, or Sanjushi in Japanese. The 3 musketeers consisted of 14th gen members Kojima Mako, Nishino Miki, and of course, Na-chan. This group was supposedly a deliberate branding push by the management, and you would often see these 3 on AK Bingo. This is perhaps because management recognized them as future stars. Also, FYI, from 2015 to 2018, Na-chan would even become co-captain for Team 4. It was also within the same year of 2013 that the whole testing her serious thing on AK Bingo would start happening, solidifying her serious character. Na-chan's first time being selected through Senbatsu for an AKB48 track would happen for Labradoru Retriever, or Labrador Retriever in English, released in May 2014. And like I mentioned before, she would also join STU48 a few years later, and in fact, she was also made captain. STU48 was newly established around that time, so putting serious Na-chan there certainly must have helped put a spotlight on the group. Now, although you could say Na-chan had a pretty damn good career as an idol, it unfortunately didn't end in a very positive manner. I'll try to keep things short, but basically it started with an NMB48 member named Sto Ririka, who announced at the 2017 general election that she was going to get married. I'm not going to talk about the whole dating ban here, you can check out my previous videos for that, but suffice to say, it wasn't taking very well from fans and even some of the other members. And Na-chan apparently made a speech that seemingly rebuked Ririka and saying she wanted to be the 48 group's chairman of public morals. Well, that would end up coming back to haunt her in 2022, when the tabloids would release a story that showed that Na-chan was in a relationship with a man. And yes, fans did indeed point out the speech she made back in 2017. Of course, a lot of things can change over 5 years, but the backlash was pretty severe, and Na-chan started to find it hard to eat anything. She would then put out a statement on Twitter apologizing and announcing her graduation. Some apparently thought that management had forced Na-chan to graduate as punishment due to what happened, but she explains that actually her graduation was decided a few months before what was reported in the tabloids. Na-chan would graduate from AKB48 in April 2023, but would carry on as a solo artist within that same year. Very recently though, as of the making of this video, she announced her new unit, Yunaris, along with former AKB48 member Murayama Yuiri, so I think it's safe to presume that Na-chan is doing a lot better now. What I found interesting about Na-chan's story is that her character was based around this idol that sought perfection, but in the end, Na-chan showed that she's just as human as anyone else. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video guys, thank you so much for watching another highly requested video of an AKB48 member. Is this the end of it? Well, that's actually up to you guys. Let me know your thoughts and opinions along with anyone else you'd like to see covered in the comment section below. Thank you all again, hope to see you next time, take care, peace.